So hello everyone. I hope that you can see and hear me well right now. We are in Mumbai right now in the IIFL Wealth Tournament, and today we have a very interesting show in front of us, which is Timur Gareyev is live blindfolded playing against 12 young children of Mumbai, and he is unable to see the board on any of the boards. He cannot see the position, and he has these in his mind. So as you all know, Timur Gareyev is the blindfold king in the world, one of the best blindfold players in the world. He has 48 board world record, and so today he's going to attempt 12. I think pretty easy for him, but these kids are not just easy pushovers. Yeah, some of them are Asian champions, some of them even national champions over here. So it's going to be a tough task for him. So what I really want to do is look over his games, try to show you the high quality chess that he's playing. It's not just about blindfold. If you make Timur even wear this blindfold and play chess, he could play as well as if he was sighted. So let's have a look at his first game. He is playing white against Veer Kadakia. Veer is a young boy from Mumbai who's rated 1368, quite talented. And Timur plays his normal stuff. It's the Tarash defense, and you can see that he got a pretty good position out of the opening. I'm just running through the position here because we have 12 games to cover. I want to focus on the final position that we have right now. This is the one that is there on the board. In fact, a few more moves have been played. The queens exchanged, rook e7, and now Timur goes for knight d4. So the point is that after knight to d4, these pawns are extremely weak, and as you can see in a few moves, okay, that's a tactical blunder by Veer. He loses one pawn and then the next, so already 2 pawns down, and the only thing that can save this young boy now is an illegal move by Timur, which I'm sure he won't be doing. So that's an easy point for Timur over here. Now let's move to the board 2. I think this will be more interesting. Avatanshu Bhatt, who is ChessBase India's one of youngest authors. He came back from Spain by gaining 118 ELO points. So Avatanshu is white over here against Timur, and this is the position we have on the board. Quite a fighting one, it seems, although the last move by white was c3. Materially, black is doing wonderfully. He has 2 bishops for the rook, so that's really a great thing. Plus he has an extra pawn, so I think Timur should be better here, but where does he take his knight? That's the question. Because if he goes something like knight c6, knight g5 is a move to be considered, because if you take here, I am quite worried about this check coming in, and then perhaps this is okay, and the other rook coming in. Maybe it's fine because you have bishop f5 here, so it should be okay. But instead of knight g5, there could be also some other possibilities here. I think Avatanshu has some chances, but I think black can just go knight to e6, and once the knight comes here, it solidifies everything. So Timur should have better chances in this game as well. By the way, I would just like to show you the live feed in case if that is possible. Then maybe if you guys can see it, it would be nice to see. Timur is playing against these players, and they are showing it live on Facebook. I just want to see if it is possible for you to see it here. And that's all the players. So the organizers have been broadcasting it live on yeah, you can see it. So that's very nice actually. You can see right now in front of you is this little girl who's thinking about her move, and she is, and that's where Timur is playing. You know, he's cycling here and thinking about his move. Look at him, blindfolded, um, think, moving his bicycle, getting into the rhythm. Such a genius. I mean, he's worked tremendously hard to master this art. By the way, that's one game coming to an end somewhere. This boy, young boy over here, he is being told by Praful Zaveri something to sit down and play his moves. Seems like he has a good position here if you look at it. Timur is playing. So let's get back to the games. I mean, this is very nice to see that we can show you the live feed from what's happening inside as well. So let's get back to the analysis and move to the next game. This is between the game 3 between Ananya Gupta, who's black, and Timur Gareyev, who's white. We have a few people online. Abhev Sodhi, who says, I'm sure I can beat him. Well, I'm not sure that you can do that. He's really good. I mean, I would be scared to play blindfolded against him, because for him, being sighted or blindfolded is actually the same thing. You know, it doesn't really affect his strength. For example, okay, this is an interesting position that we have here, because Timur is a piece down. However, he has a lot of pawns. So last move by black was rook b8, and I think white is just going to pick up another pawn. That's going to be, in all, 7 pawns for white against just 3 for black. So this is again a crushing advantage. The knight will park itself on f6, and the rook is eyeing this another weak pawn. So Timur looks to be beating Ananya Gupta, Vikas. So Ananya Gupta is rated 1033. Let's move to the fourth board. This is Kush Bhagat. Kush Bhagat is white against Timur Gareyev, and Kush is a very talented player. In fact, he's the son of Karan Bhagat, the CEO of IIFL Wealth, and Kush is playing with the white pieces, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and Timur is black. So in this position, I think nothing is clear. In fact, if you look closely, it seems like white is having a completely dominant position, attacking this pawn on f6, already a pawn up with this pawn. So now Timur has to resort to some kind of tricks in order to win this. Let's just have a look at this game quickly, because how did this boy get such a winning position so quickly? So he played the London. I just have to be careful. I'm not mixing the colors. Yeah, Bhagat Kush is white. Yeah. So still knight c6, queen d2, e5, d5. Okay. Bishop b5 and bishop. So here Timur, I think, blundered a pawn after bishop e5, because if you were to take queen into b5, knight into b5, bishop d2, king d2, knight e5, knight c7, king d7, knight a8, I think this knight would be trapped on the side of the board. And this could have been a possible line for black to play actually. I don't know why Timur just played bishop e6, bishop into f6, g into f6. I mean, from the way this game is progressing, I have a strong feeling that there is some mismatch in the colors. I mean, because the way black is playing, it seems like it's not a grandmaster. I mean, Timur. I somehow still feel that Timur is white in this position. We will have to look out for that, if this is true or not. let's have a look at it's board number 4, Bhagat Kush. I don't know if he's white or is Timur white in that position. Okay, let's look at the next game. It's Kukreja Sankalp who's playing black against Timur. Knight c3 by Timur Gareyev. Kukreja Sankalp is rated 1481, so he's a pretty strong player. And well, let's just see how this game goes on. Knight f6, bishop g5, h6, bishop h4. So here Timur has, okay, black wins a pawn, but I think white has a complete lead in development. You can't play c3 here because of knight into c3. Kush is white. So the game that we were discussing, it means that Kush is actually beating Timur Gareyev. That would be quite an upset in a way, because Kush is rated not very high. I mean, his rating is around 1392, but he is a strong player. He has won some medals at Western Asian tournaments and stuff like that. So yeah, here Timur goes king f1, h5, bishop into h5, king h8, and bishop d5. Okay, so this game Timur is completely winning against Sankalp Kukreja. By the way, Ananya Gupta already resigned her game against Timur, which was this position. I'm surprised that she resigned in this. She could have played on actually. It's this position, and she just gave up over here. So that means Timur gets more breathing space. As of now, he has one win over here and also another win on the last board, I think 11th board against Rana. Let's have a look at that game, because the mate is very beautiful over there. Timur is white and he plays the wing gambit, gets the pawn in the center, and then, you know, you shouldn't get your queen out so soon. That's what they teach you when you are young. And Ron is just 7, so he has a lot of time to learn this stuff. Here queen comes to a4, and he can't block the check with rook d7 because it's a queen already here. He gives up his queen first and takes another queen. So that was a pretty mate over there. By the way, one thing which you should know when you play these simuls is, this is a new feeling for these young kids as well. I mean, it's not usual to see a man cycling blindfolded play against him. So it's possible that they are also making blunders which they are not accustomed to usually. Like when I have played simultaneous exhibitions, when the player I think I've played against Anand twice, when he comes around, he sometimes comes so quickly that you forget your move. So you know, this new thing might not be so usual, while for Timur, I think this is maybe his 50th exhibition that he is doing. So you can expect some errors from the kids as well in that front. So let's look at another game that's between Shanaya Vinayak Adane. Shanaya is white in this game against Timur, who's black, and this is the position that we have. She's just attacked the rook on e8. It's an interesting move. Now you cannot take here because of bishop e8, and then if you recapture the bishop, you lose the knight. This doesn't work, but overall it seems like black is winning here, because if he just moves his rook somewhere, no, not really winning actually. If you move your rook to e7, or let's say to g8 and taking the open file, then white has the possibility to move his knight somewhere. I'm trying to think where exactly, because you can't go knight d5, Bishop d5 attacks the rook here, so you can't pick up this knight on d4. Yeah, not so easy to find a spot for your knight, yeah. Let's just, this is not going to be an easy game for Sharanya. She's trying to figure out where can she go with her knight. Meanwhile, Kush seems to be the only person until now who seems to have a good position. I need to look at a few more games. Meanwhile, yeah, we have a few people who are watching. That's Smita Bhavakati, who says it is 2 a.m. here in the US, but I'm still watching. That's wonderful to know that you are watching this live. Timur is from US, and I think he's really a pride for the chess world and US in general. I mean, to play so many players at the same time blindfolded is never an easy task. I think Rahul Matre, 1557, is the highest rated player in this group. So looking at his game would be interesting. Rahul Matre is playing on with the white pieces against Timur, and this is what we have right now. It's 6 pawns aside, and Timur has great pieces for now. I think this is going to be Timur's game. He is going to push d4 now. His central pawns are rolling down the board, so it doesn't look like Rahat. Yeah, I think Rahat is his name. Rahul is his father's name. So Rahat Matre, I don't think he's going to survive the Timur attack here. d4, cd, cd, and then the rook is activated down the c file. Yeah. This is looking bleak for black, and yeah, let's look at some other games. There's one interesting game here which is really crazy. It's between a Kenyan player, Luanga Aguda, who is 1043 rated, and black is Timur. And the funny thing is, Timur plays a very interesting opening in this game. He plays knight f3, first move, knight f6, and then goes rook g1. This was, by the way, famously played by Arvind Chidambaram in one of the Commonwealth Championships, and then he went g4, g5. So maybe we can call this the Chidambaram attack. But okay, so and then suddenly he goes g4, making full use of the rook. I think playing this move e6, closing the bishop's diagonal, was not a good idea by Aguda. You know, he just invited trouble. The pawn moved on, and yeah, here he gave up this piece, which was for no reason, and Timur took another piece. This is just crushing. So not really a fight here. That's an easy win. So I'm predicting that Timur will score another victory on this board. So what's the count now? I think he has a winning position in nearly every game apart from the one against Kush Bhagat. First board drew. Maybe Timur was low on time. Because if you look at this game between Timur Gareyev, who's white, and Veer Kadakia, the final position, Timur is just a pawn up. Okay, maybe he blundered something because he was, yeah, okay. He was 2 pawns up here, and he played b4, rook e6, b5. Okay, let me just see, bishop e4, and you are attacking this knight, but I think Timur could have just played knight b4 if I'm not mistaken, and then if you take on c1, there is a5. So there are some tactics in the position, but maybe knight c7, and even this position should be completely winning for white, but it's so difficult to calculate so many of these moves on the board. And if bishop e4, it's also the possibility to perhaps, yeah, I'm not really sure what else you can do over here. Maybe knight e7, but on all the lines you have to be giving up your 2 pieces for the rook and somehow try to win this. I think Timur would have won it, but instead he went b4, rook e6, b5, knight b4, and here it's not so clear yet. After rook c5 they agreed to a draw. I think Timur made a very wise choice here, because I think he would have won this. For example, if you go rook a6, rook b5, rook a2, this is going to be a clear grind. I mean, against someone who's rated so low, Timur would win the game, but it would mean that he has to spend a lot of energy on this board, and then other boards would suffer. So he made the choice of taking a draw, but that means he's already dropped half a point. Looking at the game of Autanshu on board number 2, it could be interesting to see if this young boy has he drummed up any play in the position, because it didn't look so bright for him over when we last saw it. Yeah, he has all his pieces in the game with rook on e1, rook on f1, knight g3, queen d3, but the problem is he's materially down. If black consolidates and is able to get his bishop out, get his rook into the game, it would be all over. So it all depends on whether Autanshu is able to create some play now. That's the point. Also for Timur to find moves here is difficult because every move has its weight in gold. Like for example, how do you, let's say you play bishop d7 here. I think this looks logical to develop some pieces, and then queen f5, and now suddenly you are looking at sacrifices like rook into e6. I mean, it's possible. Queen f7 is coming in, so I wouldn't say this is a one-way traffic. I mean, white has his chances, and for the person who is giving the simul, the most often the problem is if one board is in trouble, it can go on for the other boards. You know, he starts feeling like, oh my god, I have a losing position on this board, and it starts to tell on other boards as well. Like this one over here, Kush Bhagat is having a great position. Just let's try to have a look at that. If things have improved for black, no way. White is turning the screws slowly. Knight has moved to a4. Now it's planning to come to c5. I think even white can just long castle here. He would have no real problems. So pawn up, and clearly dominating is Kush. What about the times? Kush has 11 minutes as compared to Timur's 9. So that's also pretty much in his favor. But remember, the players who are playing here do not have an increment, while Timur has 1 minute increment per move. So in the end, that could go really in the players in Timur's favor. By the way, what is the highest rated player Timur defeated blindfold? That's the question of Ani19. It's a nice question actually. By the way, we have a few viewers from Colorado and few from Seattle. It's so nice to see that USA people with like 1 in the night over there, 2 in the night in Colorado, as they say, they're still watching. Well, maybe this is an interesting simul. It's not your normal one where Timur crushes everyone. This is the one where he's in trouble in some games. By the way, he did beat the Kenyan player Aguda. So right now the score line is 3 wins for Timur already against Ananya, against Aguda, and against Ranav Rana, and a draw against Veer Kadakia. So 3.5 bar 4, no losses for Timur until now, which is the game we haven't seen yet. I think it is Kapadia Prisha who is playing on board number 6. Prisha Kapadia is playing with the white pieces against Timur, and she has just moved her king to h1. Yeah, so the trick was, if you take the bishop knight on e4, you cannot really win it because of this discovered check at the end, and you lose the queen. So what Prisha did is moved her king out of the way, and now she puts the ball in Timur's court as to what are you going to do. You are already a pawn down over here, so Timur has to find some tricky ideas. I was thinking if there are some discovered ideas still, like bishop g3. I like this move actually, because now what you're doing is, if fg3, this is a brutal fork over here, while there is already some pressure on knight into f2. I think bg3 is a winning move, because after bishop e4 you have rook e4 attacking the queen, or even of course you can take with the bishop with a check. So I think if Timur finds this move knight g3, bishop g3, he should win this game. But he's still thinking there. He has just 6 minutes left as compared to Prisha's 21. That's becoming dangerous now for Timur. Let's look at another game which we haven't seen yet. That's board number 7, Rosh Jain against Timur. Rosh is black in this game. By the way, Rosh is a very young boy, very small. I think just 6 or 7 years old, maybe 6 years old. And when I asked him at the start of the simul, are you afraid of Timur? He just said it very in a very mild tone, no. So that means the boy is not afraid, and he has right now with the black pieces pretty decent position. But Timur is of course better. He has his pieces nicely placed. He has these major pieces down the H file. But not so easy to break through, because this bishop is really strong. No one to take it out, and it controls everything around the king. So it looks difficult for Timur to break through here, and as per time, Timur has just 2 minutes left in this game as compared to Rosh's 22 minutes. I think Timur would be wise to offer a draw here, but this young boy is not going to accept it, I think. So one more dangerous result is waiting for Timur, I think, over here. So those are the games. I think we looked at all of them. Maybe what we have missed is Rajveer. Yeah, Rajveer Nahar, who's playing again with the white pieces. Let's just have a look at this game. This is one game we haven't looked at. Rook g6 was played by Timur in this game. Rajveer is white. That's a complicated one over here. But if you count carefully, you see that white has one piece less. So then it makes it simpler. This is definitely better for black, Timur. And on the clock, Timur has 5 minutes as compared to Rajveer's 17. So let's just see if we have the live feed coming in, and try to see how things are at the inside this badminton hall of the Mount Litera school, so you get an idea of how it's all going. Yep, this is Rahat, who is having a tough time here. Black pawns are really coming up to him. And there's also a mate on h2 that is threatened, so he cannot move his knight. Queen g6 was played by Timur here. And this girl over here, yeah, she had a decent position. This is complicated. You can't really tell. By the way, if we could get a glimpse of the time on the clock, that would have been very nice. Right now you can just see the board. it looks like black has some dominating chances, but it's not clear with less time. Timur is still thinking for his move over here. Yeah, he's thinking. He is not having it easy. Look at those two bottles of lassi. He's forgone his normal banana or juice for something more Indian in the form of lassi. And he's cycling. Before the start of the game, he said the cycle was not very comfortable. Its height was not appropriate for him. But that's the best that the organizers could bring over here, so he has to live with it. Over here, still thinking for his move. By the way, let me see if anything else. Yeah, we have some questions here. Raven DeCosta says hi. Rahul Suresh says, I saw Avtanshu at Sunway Sidges. He was the reporter for ChessBase India. Very brave. Yes, for sure, Rahul. He's a very brave young boy. But being a reporter, are you saying being a reporter is brave, or being a reporter for ChessBase India is brave? You know. Okay. Cubomania says, can we see him? Perhaps, I mean, I'm not so sure. And Omkar Chakradev says G4. I think Timur will play. Which board are you talking about, Omkar? Can you tell us? I think the problem for Timur is that he is thinking a lot. He's taking a lot of time on the boards. There is no proper coordination, so he might even lose on time on some boards over there. So this simul is not so easy for him. That's what I have been saying. And yep, so he makes his move finally. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was knight a5 or something. I just missed it. Cycling his way here. This is being played at the Mount Litera school over here. And now we go to Avtanshu's board. This is the boy that we were talking about right now. He is thinking for his move. Timur has played bishop d7 in that game, and Avtanshu moved on with knight f5. Queen g5 for Timur. So, well, we didn't get a... And here's Kush Bhagat. He's the one who's going to beat Timur today, I think. In India, in Bhopal Open, Timur had 11 wins and 1 draw out of 12, and he hasn't lost a game yet. Maybe Kush is the first one, completely unperturbed by his opponent, playing, without any nerves. This young boy, just 8 years old, so confident. But Timur is also fighting on. He has to be playing. Now this queen went back to e3 in this game. He's a piece down, he's white, but on the time he has 17 minutes as compared to Timur's 4. So he has all the reasons for being positive about his chances here. Omkar Chakradev says, do you think Magnus can do something like this? I think this requires specific training, which Timur has done. If you read the articles on ChessBase, you will realize that he has done a lot of research in how memory works. Also, there is some technique known as memory palace, which he has spoken about there. So, it's not something that is just pure natural talent. He has worked on it. And if Magnus decides to do this, I'm sure he can also, if not 48 boards, achieve at least 10 boards simul for sure. Even that he can do now, Magnus. But in order to do 48 boards, you need formal training. It doesn't happen just like this. So Omkar, I guess, maybe I once tried doing this at home with some of my students in the class, and I could manage 6 boards without too many difficulties. But the trick here is that I knew the names of all the players. I knew their voices, and that helps a lot. You know, you when the boy speaks a move, you know who he is. You associate the position with his face or voice, and it becomes easier. While for Timur, all these 12 people are just completely new. He's seeing them for the first time, and that's why before the game he interacted with them. You know, he spoke to them, he chatted with them. That was his idea of trying to get to know who his opponents were. Yeah, Magnus gave 20 board simul blindfold. That's what Annie 19 says. Yes, I'm not surprised. Of course, he can do. Autanshu has just moved his queen to f3. He is looking at some checks on f7 square over there. So interesting positions now. Rook went to f8 for Timur. And Vishal is here. Vishal, what are the updates? Were you there in the hall? What's going on? Can you
just come back?
Yes, please tell us what's happening there. By the way, Timur did find bishop g3 against this young girl over there, and it seems like a crushing blow. That looks like game over for this girl. So this is winning. Apart from a few boards, Timur has done really well actually here. So let's get back to the games. It's taken. By the way, this live broadcast is being brought to you by AIC, by IIFLIM. That is, that's their new brand which promotes chess, tennis, and golf. AIC is their brand, and they are bringing this live on their Facebook page. We have taken the feed from there, and we are showing it to you. Something's going on there. I'm not able to understand this. Okay, let's try to look at a few games now. I think that was about the live feed. Soon we'll have Vishal in the room, and we will be able to get more information from him about what's going on there. So let's have a look at something interesting. I think, which game should we look into right now? Just going through the moves. Yeah, there was this game, Prisha Kapadia just took on f2 by let me get the position on the board first. Yep. Queen f1 was played. So we were looking at king h1, and as I said, bishop g3. Timur did play it. You know, he's so good. I mean, you cannot expect him to make any errors. By the way, he took on f2 with the bishop. Maybe more accurate would have been to take on f2 with the knight, and after king g1 you have bishop h2 check, king g3, queen g3 mate. This would have been very pretty mate, but this was missed by Timur over here. So Prisha is still losing, but she has some more chances over here. Apart from Prisha, who else? Let's look at Matre Rahat, because this boy is the highest rated player in this simul, but Timur, I think, is taking extra care against him. He has these nice pawns. He is 2 pawns down, but he has launched a dangerous attack. What is the time on that board? Can't really see the clocks, so not so sure. But this position, what do you think? By the way, Bhanu Prakash says Morphy is the first player who gave blindfold simul. I'm not sure about that, but I do know that Alekhine was an excellent blindfold player and is one of the favorites of Timur Gareyev. He likes Alekhine a lot. Also, Naidorf was very famous for his blindfold simuls, and apart from that, there's this recent guy Mark Lang, who is an FM, who had the record for 46 boards, if I'm not wrong, and then Timur broke it with his 48. So quite a few blindfold experts all around the world. By the way, Annie 19 says, thank you for broadcasting this blindfold Simul, I have to go to sleep. Good night from USA. Okay, that's thanks for joining in. It was great to have you, and we will, when you wake up, do check out ChessBase India to know what happened to Timur's Blindfold Simul. I am sure that there would be a few upsets in waiting for you. Okay, what else do we have now? I'm trying to just find something exciting that's going on here. Bhagat Kush position is not really changed much overall. Maybe Avatanshu's position has improved a bit. I mean, yeah, let's just go over the moves. He went knight f5, queen g5, queen f3, rook f8, and he took on e6. Bit of a surprise. Of course, he had this small trick in mind. If bishop e6, then knight h6 would have finished off the game and mated Timur. But Timur was alert. He took on f5, nice move, queen f5, and yeah, this is going to be easy win for the grandmaster. After rook f5, he has two bishops for the rook, and it doesn't seem that white has any compensation. So Timur's going to win this one. And what else have we got now? Let's go to Bhagat Kush. Kush Bhagat position hasn't changed a lot. Over here it's bishop on g4. So Timur has started creating some threats now. If you take on e2 and take on g3. How about we going back to the live feed right now and trying to see what's going on. This is going to be interesting to see what's going. So I'll shift to the live broadcast here. That's the young boy. Naveen Bhandari asks, was there a draw in Veer Kadakia game? Yeah, it was a draw. And Cubomania says, hello Sagar sir, you are the best, and best thing you are my friend on Facebook. Sure, what's your real name, so that I can talk to you on Facebook. By the way, Kush Bhagat over here has made this move knight g1. I'm not too impressed with that move. He's undeveloping his pieces. It might turn out that he can get into some trouble. He's not thinking on the board. He's moving on his chair. Come on, Kush, you are the last hope now for Mumbaikars in this Simul. You need to take it more seriously. But I can't have a look at the time. So, by the way, Avatanshu's game seems to have ended on that board. We have a lot of people watching this Simul, so this is nice on Facebook. Rook e8 was played, so now it's Kush Bhagat's move. What is he going to do to rook e8? e3 pawn is under attack, and here Avatanshu has taken on f5, bishop into e6, and he's gone back to f1. Nothing much. Timur has 2 minutes on his clock with 1 minute increment, and he plays d4. So this is going to be 0-1 for Timur. Bhanu Prakash asks, any Indian give Blindfold Simul? If it is, how many boards? Yeah, I mean, I'm not so sure if any Indian player has given a simultaneous exhibition like this before. By the way, let's first focus here. Rook goes into e4 against Kush. I think he's going to be in trouble here. he just made some moves which were not the best, and Timur, now look, he is looking quite pleased with his positions. That's really amazing the way he has turned it around. Omkar Chakradev says this is the strategy to play against blindfolded man, knight g1. No, I'm sure Timur was very happy. By the way, this young boy who is having this bishop on g7 is just drinking his juice. He's not worried about any mating attack on his king. This one is definitely winning for black over here. Seems really not too many problems for Timur to win here. He's a piece up. He's won a few pawns as well, g3 and h3. Doesn't seem like this guy can give any tough fight. And he played rook to g1. What is this? Is this just a rook blunder? Because rook into g1 is a free rook. Did Timur just blunder an entire rook? The little boy is smiling. He knows he's got his point. Well, Bolt House Tab says Gareyev is a freak, maybe the most talented player alive. Yeah, possibly. He had reached a rating of 2680 at some point, but then he decided to concentrate on blindfold. And Rahat Matre over here thinking for his move. What is he going to do? Timur has pawns on e4 and f4, quite dangerously positioned. Yeah, this is not going to be easy. By the way, f3 played by Timur. He's attacking. What about this young girl here? Does she have any chance against Timur? She has her knights on d4 and c5. Sorry, Timur has his knights on d4 and c5. Yeah, you have to keep an eye out for knight b3 checks in the position. Not easy. Black to play. What would you play here? That's the question. It's equal pawns. Everything is equal right now. Timur goes knight to e4. Interesting move. And now we go to the other half of the board. This is where some of the entertainment lies. Okay, this is winning. For I don't think Utanshu has any chances left. Bishop takes d4. No real chances. He plays his pawn to b3. The other bishop will plonk itself on d5, a very nice square. So this should be no problems for black. Well, we have some interference in the broadcast. It is not so. The internet connection seems to have gone down. So let us get back to the board here. Okay, Utanshu is back, and yep, let's have a look. Okay, this is here. Let's go back and check out a few more games. What's going on? By the way, there is some update in the game between Kush Bhagat and Timur. Timur playing with the black pieces, and here after knight g1, rook d e8, king f2, rook e4. It's taken a pawn on f6. Looks quite risky to me. Why not just rook e8? Put more pressure. I think this is going to be quite tough. By the way, Ryan Murphy says, going to bed in US, but awesome job to Timur. Thanks, Ryan, for joining in. As I said, be sure to check ChessBase India when you wake up to see how Timur did in this simul. Now let's look at some other boards. For example, the one with the girl on the last board, Sharanya Adane. This is an interesting game actually. I have a feeling that she has her chances in the position. So definitely Sharanya has some possibilities in this position. Timur went knight to e4, and I think now she can take. And yeah, black is surely pressing here, but not very sure about the result of the position. Okay, let's go back to the live broadcast because it's becoming interesting here. Let me see if I can get the volume in.
Board 10, G2 to G3. Board 12.
Knight c3 into e4.
Knight c3 captures e4.
Rook takes e4.
Board 2, b2 to b3.
c5.
Lost. Okay. Board 2 resigns. Give a big hand to our Tanshu. Board 4. Rook a1 to e1. Board 8. King
c1 to b1, right?
c1 to e1.
Okay, knight from c4 to e5.
Board 9.
496.
b4 to b3. Oh, sorry.
b5 to b6.
b3.
b4 to b3. But b4 to
Also, you guys play when I play bishop c4, you play some d3, right?
You played c4, he played b3.
b4, b3, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So when I play bishop c4, it moves to d3, right?
No. You played c4. You played
Earlier.
earlier.
Yeah, you put bishop on d3, right?
So we have Avatanshu in the studio who just played against Timur right now. Avatanshu, how was your game against the Blindfold King?
Uh, yeah, I think it was good, but in between, after a certain position, I think it began to deteriorate.
Was it difficult for you to play against him? I mean, we all know that he is doing a phenomenal job of playing against 12 players blindfold. But
Yeah.
was it difficult for you to play against the Blindfold King?
I actually expected not as much of a struggle, and I was in two minds. Either I thought it would go on for a long, difficult game for him, or I thought my game would be over in some 10-15 moves.
Really?
Yeah.
So in the last position here, you were white, you played b3. Why did you resign?
Because gradually this was a lost position for me, and black will win soon, I think.
Black is winning anyway. So what was your critical mistake according to you in the game?
I missed rook takes f3 by black.
So here you missed rook into f3.
Yeah,
And you think this is a very strong move?
yeah. I had missed around f takes e4, then knight takes e4. Around there itself, I had missed it.
So this position. By the way, why didn't you take with the pawn here?
Because after I thought of playing queen takes f3, and I had played that quickly, and I thought bishop c4 would come with check, but he has d5.
Yeah, but here I think you should be okay because after knight into d4, king h1, it doesn't seem like he has a very powerful move or something up his sleeve, yeah?
Yeah.
Maybe it's still fine for black, he has good compensation, but you also have some things going your way.
Yeah.
Right, so by the way, Ketan Patil is online and he says, hi
Oh.
Sagar and Anshu.
Well
Ketan,
then.
you should be coming here at the Bandra IIFL tournament, not watch this on YouTube.
Yeah, it would be a pleasure to have you.
Right. So Avtanshu, what do you think about the other games that are going on right now? I think there are a few more games. For example, on board one, Veer Kadakya drew against Timur. Then you lost.
Yeah.
Ananya Gupta lost. Kush Bhagat is still playing on. We'll
Yes.
look at his game very shortly. Sankalp Kukreja lost. Kapadia Prisha also lost. She got mated on the corner of the board. Aguda Luanga from Kenya lost his game. Rajveer is still playing. Rajveer Nahar. And Rosh Jain is still playing against Timur. And Rahat Matre is also fighting on. Apart from that, Ranav Raina lost to Timur, and Sharanya Adane is still fighting. So we have 5 games that are still going on, and Timur has won the remaining 6 games. Or maybe 6 are going on. Timur has won 5 games and 1 draw.
Yes.
5.5 out of 6. That's pretty impressive. So which game would you like to see from the ones that are going on?
I think let's start from the top. Kush Bhagat's game, maybe.
Yeah, let's see Kush's game, because Kush was winning according to me at some point. He was clearly better, but then something happened and he has been under pressure. Like for example, here I think the tide began to change when he had to play knight g1, and after rook d e8, the rook came in, then the other rook joined in, and d4. So suddenly from having a very static position, things have become very dynamic. By the way, people are saying video has frozen. Okay, let me just check here. Yeah, video, there's some issue with the video. I'll try to fix it. Maybe we can get a new video feed. Yep, I think this
Yes.
should work. Let's get it here. Okay. So Avtanshu, okay, there's some problem that we are having with the video feed. Sorry for that, folks. We hope to fix this problem soon. But meanwhile, Kush Bhagat, who was dominating the game against Gareyev at the start, is now no longer in that same dominating position. So I'll just put this across here. Right, so let's have a look at a few more games. Apart from Kush, what's the next game that we can look at? There is one against Rajveer. Do you know Rajveer?
No, not personally anyway.
You don't know him personally, but Rajveer, who was fighting on this young, I think he's the youngest here, if I'm not wrong.
Yes.
Just 6 years old. And he has resigned his game against Timur. So this was the position. Final move was a queen blunder somehow. By the way, it was very surprising that in this game, Timur first blundered a rook with rook g1.
Oh.
Rajveer picked it up, so he was now a rook up completely, or sorry,
Yes.
exchange up.
Yeah.
And then bishop f4 check, and when Timur played knight e5, this young boy moves his rook and gives up the queen.
Oh.
I think he wasn't able to maintain his composure here and had to resign the game. That's what I
Oh.
call by this simul not only being tough for Timur but also for his opponents
yeah.
who have no experience in playing something like this. For example, Rosh Jain, I think, is turning the tide against his opponent. At first he was under pressure, and now if you look at it, Queen e8, this position is suddenly looking quite dangerous for white actually, because this bishop here defends just about everything, while this queen is going to come in from this side and going to launch a very dangerous attack. And then white has put all his resources on one side of the board. It looks like Rosh is going to pull off the upset. What do you think, Avtanshu?
That would be really interesting to see, because half my mind when I was playing my game was to see exactly how far Timur goes into his games.
So more than playing your game, you are already thinking of how Timur is going to finish or how long is he going to play?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So Avtanshu, you are a true journalist. Yeah, you are always thinking about how you can. By the way, you are going to write about your experience of playing this simul.
Yes.
Okay, a pleasant one, I hope.
Yeah.
And what about Sharanya? Here, Sharanya is playing with the white pieces, and she has this position on the board. Sharanya is white. She should be aware of some sacrifices on e3 with the f pawn running down right now. It's not really a problem, but it could become one. By the way, Satanik Mukhuti says knight f6 also consolidates the king side. Yes, you are right. That's why we have a feeling that in the game of, who is this boy who's winning? What's his name? Rajveer. No, not Rajveer. I think I kind of forgot his name. He's the guy who's going to win, Rosh Jain.
Yeah.
This guy is going to pull off the upset according to me, because Kush Bhagat, who was winning at one point, has really made a mess of his position, and now it doesn't seem that he has a better position anyway. Yeah. Kush Bhagat drew his game. Okay, so it's already over. We just got the news from our correspondent that Kush Bhagat has drawn the game. Queen d7 was played. I think Timur once again took a safe choice, because if he plays on, I think he would win this. That's what I feel. Timur is a smart guy. You know what he does is he takes draws in some boards so that he can win the others. Otherwise, if he keeps spending time on every position, then he might lose on time in some of the ones where he's winning.
That's
So
a
he
clever
make-
tactic.
Yeah, he makes sure that he will at least score 10 points out of 12 here. At least that seems to be his aim. If he does that, that would be fantastic. I think we have the last part of the this going on, and Rosh Jain. Let's get this Rosh. Let's get Rosh on the scene here and see how he's doing. Yeah, let's get this live. Okay, Rosh has played his king to f8. I think that's the only game that's going on, and he
Yeah.
takes on d7. It seems like once the action moved to just one board, Timur became just too strong. I mean, this is all over for Rosh.
Yeah.
He's lost his queen, he's lost everything. Queen into f7, it's like,
it's winning for Timur.
and queen c7 is game over now. It's a mate in one. There's a huge round of applause for Timur. It seems like he's finished the simul. Praful Zaveri there in the screen with Vishal Sareen. Amruta Mokal capturing all the moments for ChessBase India. We're soon going to compile it.
Beautiful moments.
And this Timur's blindfold comes off. Huge applause for the champion. He has scored, if I'm not wrong, 11 out of 12 points.
Yeah, yes.
2 draws and 10 wins. Oh my god, this is just simply fantastic. Anand Babu comes and shakes his hands. He is well, what's the time right now? It's 15:42, so within 18 minutes Timur Gareyev is going to begin his next round in the
Yeah.
open tournament. I think the score was 11 out of 12, right?
Yes.
Wonderful. This is amazing. So, Avtanshu, what do you have to say about Timur?
I think he is a real prodigy, if I may say so, because I also know that a couple of years back in Vegas, he played against 48 boards and won 35, if I am not wrong.
Yes, I didn't know how many games he won, but maybe you have the right statistics here. He won 35 games, and here today against quite some strong opposition. The live video feed has ended, so let's get back here to our studio. And he played 12 boards here and scored 10 wins, 2 draws. Fantastic performance. I have a feeling we should get Timur on air, but there must not be he must not have too much time now, because he is going to play his next round. I don't know whom he's playing, because that would be again a game very interesting to follow. If Timur can actually beat his opponent today in open section. He is playing on, let me see, he is playing on board number 9 against Debarshi Mukherjee. So will be a tough opponent. Debarshi is 23-13 rated, and it's not going to be easy. By the way, I think we'll end the live feed here. Thank you everyone. We have a few questions, by the way. Mandar Bakshi said that there were some attacking chances for white as well in the Rosh Jain game. And Saikat says, do you think there is a massive difference between Vichy and Indian 2650 GMs in terms of ability? I think so, yes. There's a huge difference. And first and foremost, it's knowledge. I think Vichy's knowledge cannot be compared to a 2650 GM. Vichy just knows a lot more than them. So thank you guys for joining in, and we'll go live for the open section very soon.
Okay.
And see you.
Yeah.